So welcome. Welcome back to this chase. New Zealand set a target of 183 and they have started well. Fazal Haq into the attack for Afghanistan. He's been hit for 2 boundaries by Seifert. 4 balls done. New Zealand 8 for no loss. Seifert and Phil Annan, the power hitters, the power openers for Afghanistan. The Black Caps out there in the middle. Fazal Haq, wonderful ball angling into the batter this time. Into the body, and all he can do is chop it onto his foot. Dot ball there. 132.2 kilometers out there. Afghanistan will be eager to get early breakthrough in this power play and put some pressure back onto the New Zealand camp. Everyone knows well that how dangerous can this batting pair be, especially during the power play. The first 6 overs, they can take on any bowlers. They have the potential to clear the field easily, and with the new hard ball and the Chennai dimensions being comparatively small across the globe, and Seifert once again this time moves his front leg across and hits it through the line, and the ball goes past the mid-off fielder into the boundary. 4 runs, 12 runs coming off the first over. What a wonderful start to the chase for the Black Caps. 12 runs coming off the first over, and New Zealand require 171 more runs. The first over for Fazal Haq Farooqi costing 12 runs, and New Zealand are well within this chase. What a wonderful start into this chase. With 182 on board Afghanistan earlier, who opted to bat, and Gulabdin Nayyab scoring a well 63 of 35 and 3 fours and 4 sixes. He set the tone for the Afghan camp, and he was well supported by Athal scoring 29, Rasuli scoring 20, and Omar Zai and Mohammad Nami giving the finishing touches, 14 and 10 respectively. So that's the story out there in the middle. It was well evident Afghanistan need to attack with the spinners, especially with this 2 power pair starting the game for Black Caps, Finn Allen and Sim Seifert. Seifert already scoring 12 of the first over, and now Allen was yet to face a ball in this match. Mujibur Rahman wonderfully bowled, angled into the bat. They're cramped for room there. All he can do is tap it to the long on region. 1 run for the batter there, and he's off the mark. Once again into Allen. He also taps it to long on region. 1 run to the batter there. And this time he's cleaned him up. Wonderful ball there from Mujibur Rahman. Completely castled Finn Allen there. Completely outfoxing the Kiwi batter, and he has to take the long walk back. Afghanistan drawing first blood in this while they defend the total. A wonderful ball darted into the wicket. Wasn't too short to be pulled, but the batter rocks back and tries to pull. A quicker delivery crashing into the middle and leg stump, and the stumps cartwheeling there, and Mujibur Rahman elated there. Animated scene out there in the Afghanistan camp. He is jubilant. He is happy. Mujibur Rahman picking up Finn Allen. Finn Allen has to depart. Bowled by Mujib for 1 run. Not troubling the scorers much out there. And that will be the fall of the first wicket for New Zealand as they try to chase 183. .169 runs required for New Zealand, and they have lost the power hitter Finn Allen, cleaned up by Mujibur Rahman. Chennai wicket was always favoured the spinners here, and it will be a tough task for the Kiwi batters Someone has to play the anchoring knocks and has to pace the innings through, especially on this wicket. It's hot conditions out there. And Rachin Ravindra, can he do the anchoring role for New Zealand? He is well accustomed to this wicket. He has been an integral part of Chennai Super Kings for the past few years in the Indian Premier League. Can the local boy, the former local boy, no, he's cleaned him up. First ball gone for a golden duck. Crashed into the stumps. And the Afghanistan fielders are pumped up. Mujibur Rahman running in, pumping his fist in the air. Clean bowl, Rachin Ravindra. First ball gone for the golden duck. Darted into the batter. Completely missing the line and length of the ball. Completely outfoxed there. He nods his head at he has to depart. A wonderful, wonderful ball. Completely beaten for pace. Pushed through by Mujibur Rahman. Skidding into the batter. Rushed on Rachin Ravindra. And the stumps are once again going for a cartwheel. What a wonderful, wonderful start. 2 wickets off 2 balls for Mujibur Rahman. And Rachin Ravindra has to go for a golden duck, not troubling the scorers out there. And that will be end of Rachin Ravindra's innings here. Gone off the first ball. Afghanistan clearly putting their intentions clear here. Second over of the power play. Straight away brings on, Rashid Khan brings on his spinner. Mujibur Rahman pushes the ball through the air. The ball pitches and skids in and keeps low. And Rachin Ravindra, he'll be disappointed with himself, nodding his head as New Zealand are reduced for 14 for 2 after 1.4 overs. What a turnaround for New Zealand here. New Zealand in deep trouble now. 2 wickets gone within no time. 12 runs coming off the first over. How are the New Zealand batters going to counter-attack Mujib and Rashid? The Chennai wicket has been known to favour the spinners. With that said, Glenn Phillips walks out to the middle. And Mujibur Rahman is on hat-trick. Can we see? No close-in fielder there. A close-in fielder would have been interesting there. A bad pad chance there, but falls in no man's land. And Mohammad Nabi has his hands over his head. Could Rashid Khan have brought in a back of the hand flicker delivery? A googly hits his bat onto the pads in the air, but no man there. No close-in fielders there. That would have been interesting. It would have been 2 hat-tricks in 2 days in this ongoing World Cup. But nevertheless, beautifully bowled once again. A good length delivery, and Phillips goes towards to cut the shot, missing the line and length of the ball. That's a wonderful, wonderful over. 2 runs and 2 wickets coming off Mujibur Rahman's first over. And Afghanistan and New Zealand are 14 for 2. And they still require 169 runs. Azmatullah back into the attack for the first over today. A good length ball there, respected shown by Tim Surfer there, taps it back to the fielder at mid-off. No run there. What a wonderful last over from Mujibur Rahman. Pushed the ball through the air and darting in into the stumps. Cleanly bowls both Finn Allen as well as Rachin Ravindra. Rachin Ravindra walks back for the first ball duck. A golden duck for the left-hander there. Coming back to Chennai. He's been cleaned up of his first delivery. What a story. Mujibur Rahman, Azmatullah. A little bit short on length there. And Seifert swivels and tries to pull it towards the mid-wicket region. The fielder from the square leg region tries to cut it out just behind the boundary. but in vain. The ball trickles down to the rope. A good effort there from the fielder, but 4 runs there for Seifert there. Banged in shot, and Seifert was early into the shot, but still managed to get 4 runs there. New Zealand will be hoping that Seifert and Glenn Phillips stitch a partnership here. They need to find a way to counter these spinners, especially on the Chennai wicket, which has always favored the spinners. How can they dominate the world spinners with the likes of Mujibur Rahman, who showed his wonderful, bountiful bowling abilities in the last over, and they still have to face the maestro Rashid Khan. How are New Zealand going to tackle the 8 overs from the spinners en route to the chase of 183? 19 for 2. Mujibur Rahman pushing the ball through the air, using the surface, and the ball skids on and crashes into the stump. What a sight for the bowler. This time, good length ball climbing on the batter. He taps it to the fielder in the cover region, and that will be dot ball. Pressure slowly mounting on the New Zealand camp. 19 for 2 after 2.3. 183 on board. Someone has to pace their innings wonderfully here. Not get ahead of time, set small targets, reach to around 85 to 90 by 10th over, and then take the game deep and let the lower middle order batters use the long handle. They have a lot of depth in the batting lineup. They need to play exceptionally well, especially with the likes of 2 wickets falling early. Seifert this time goes across the line, and he hit it to deep mid-wicket region, and the batters were interested for 2 runs, but Glenn Phillips rightfully sends him back. A good throw from the deep there, and Glenn Phillips spotting it and sending Seifert back. 1 run, and that will be 20 for 2 after 2.4 overs. So this time straying down in line, goes down the leg, and appeal from the keeper. Was there an edge there, or is he trying to distract the umpire from giving a wide? But the umpire stays firm, flexes his arm. That's a wide ball. He's going to have to bowl that once again. 21 for 2, one more extra to adding to the New Zealand's tally. Glenn Phillips, he's been promising in the recent times. He's been promoted to number 4, especially since the India tour. He's shown some positive signs throughout the ODI series as well as the T20 series against New Zealand. Against India, beg your pardon. Banged in shot this time. Phillips goes across. Wonderfully pulls it towards the backward square leg region. 4 runs for the batter there. Beautiful shot by the Kiwi batter. Banged in shot. A lot of time there. Pulls it easily and places it wide of the deep square leg fielder, and ball goes to the wide of the deep fine leg fielder. Beautiful shot. 4 runs for Glenn Phillips there. What a shot. 158 runs required for 103. That's the equation right there in the middle in the 4th T20 international match of the ongoing ICC Men's T20 World Cup 2026. Azmatullah running in. Good ball there, angling into the water. That's moved away late. And Glenn Phillips managed to get an edge that goes to the mid-wicket region. No runs there. Dot ball to end the over. That's a good over. And that will be the end of the over as Azmatullah gives away just 11 runs off the over. Good one for New Zealand given the circumstances. 25 for 2 after 3, and the required run rate now slowly climbing to 9.29. That's the scenario out there. The match is pretty simple. It's going to be the New Zealand top order batters with the Afghanistan spinners, the world-class batters with the world-class spinners. How are they going to manage 8 overs from Mujibur Rahman and Rashid Khan? Mujib already doing the damage, picking up 2 wickets off his first over. Now he's running in once again, this time to Seifert, and Seifert taps it to the long on region. 1 run for the batter there. Will they have to play out the 8 overs from the spinners? Or is someone going to take the risk and play those risk shots, especially given that there is field restrictions during the power play? Mujibur Rahman pushing the ball through the air into his second over. Minute field changes there from the captain Rashid Khan to Glenn Phillips. Will Glenn Phillips be eager to take on the field? This time straying down the leg, tries to pull it, but managed to get good connection on it. The ball goes straight to the short fine leg fielder on a couple of bounces, and that'll be a dot ball. Mujibur Rahman pushing the ball quicker through the air. This time a flighted delivery, straying down the leg, but this time Glenn Phillips gets the sweep shot, finds the edge, and goes past the short third man fielder, running away into the boundary. Much required for New Zealand and the New Zealand dressing room. A beautiful, beautiful shot of a poor delivery. Glenn Phillips gracefully accepting the gift as Mujibur Rahman strays hit the ball down the leg. Phillips going down on one leg and beautifully sweeps it past the short fine leg fielder. 4 runs there for the Kiwi batter there. Wonderful ball angled into the batter this time, and he taps it to the fielder at the long on region. The New Zealand batters have to be extremely cautious and play sensibly and take the calculated risk against these 8 overs coming in from the 2 spinners. And with Chennai wicket favouring the spinners, they have to bat sensibly and take calculated risks. Dot ball angled into the pads, but Seifert pushes it to the fielder at square leg fielder. No run there. Last ball of the over. This time well flighted ball once again angled into the batter. Good over there from Mujib once again. Just 6 runs coming off it. Just 1 ball erred down the line. And that'll be the end of the over. They are 31 for 2 after 4 overs, and the required run rate slowly climbing to 9.5 now. 2 overs left in the power play. Can New Zealand maximize it? Will they counter-attack the fast bowlers and the other bowlers to make up for the cautious play they have to play against the 2 spinners? Who is going to play the aggressor's role? A lot of batting to come in the New Zealand's card. 152 runs required of 16 overs. They are well within the game. The key will be to build a partnership right now. Glenn Phillips and Tim Seifert out there in the middle building a partnership, 17 of 14. The score 31 for 2 after 4 overs. 152 required from 96. Fazal Haq brought into the attack. His first over is expensive. 12 runs coming off it. And Glenn Phillips taps it to the mid-off there. Some confusion out there. But eventually the batsman scamper for a run. No damage done out there. Glenn Phillips was into the shot and straight away started running. Tim Seifert was not interested there, but eventually had to run. But Glenn Phillips has made it halfway through, and eventually they complete the run. 1 run into the tally. No damage done there. And they pick up a single, and Glenn Phillips is off strike now. To all our listeners who have joined us, Afghanistan had set a target of 183, and New Zealand are 2 wickets down for 32, with Mujibur Rahman picking up 2 wickets off his 1 over, especially the second over of the innings. Clean bowled Finn Allen as well as a golden duck for Achin Ravindra. Pushed the ball through the air, pitched on the wicket using the surface very well, and the ball skid on, crashing into the stumps. So that's the story out there. Welcome to Sports Beyond Cancer. All you new listeners out there, please hit the comment button. Please hit the subscribe button. Show your support. And please comment who do you think is going to win the game and who do you think is going to be the player of the match today. This time banged in shot. Fazal Haq. Tim Seifert was up for it. Stands tall and pulls it towards the cow corner region. Wide of the fielder from the deep mid-wicket region. He won't be able to stop it. And that rolls in the boundary for 4 runs. What a wonderful shot for the Kiwi batter there. 36 for 2. Stood tall. Eyes on the ball till the last moment. Closed the surface of the bat. Face of the bat. And beautifully placed away from the fielder in the deep mid-wicket region, and that will be a much required boundary for New Zealand. The run rate now inching towards 9.5. Fazal Haq this time. A full length delivery, and Seifert goes across the line, moves his front leg across, and then goes with the full flow of the shot. He's failed to time it perfectly, but the power is such The ball sails over the corner region. A beautiful, beautiful six. A slow one there. The batsman was early into the shot. Couldn't get the middle of the bat. But even then, the power and the bat these days in the modern generation is such that the ball sailed for an 80-meter six even without proper connection. That's a wonderful shot. And Seifert scoring 10 runs of the last 2 balls. This time, good length delivery, angling towards the batter. Clever batting out there from Seifert. He taps the ball towards the deep mid-wicket region. The batsmen are coming back for the second run. And Seifert taking it casually. And there's a direct hit. And the Afghanistan can't believe that there could be a run out. A direct hit from the deep there. Wonderful, wonderful fielding effort. Seifert especially took the second run casually. A direct hit coming from the fielder. Excuse me. But he's made the ground. He's safe. Just in time. He's dragged his bat inside just in time. And Seifert is safe. That's poor, poor cricket. He took it casually. Did not expect the fielder to dart in a throw. A wonderful, wonderful throw from the deep there. Full toss this time. Missed out opportunity. A wide full toss. But hit straight back to the fielder at mid-off all along the ground. A missed out chance for Seifert there. He's nodding his head. He's disappointed with the missed out opportunity, and that will be a dot ball after 5 overs. New Zealand 44 for 2 and the required run rate now 9.27. The partnership slowly building. It's 30 of 20s. The current pair out there in the middle have to take the game deep. They have to set short targets, probably get somewhere close to 90 by the end of the 10th over, and let the other batters take it from there, especially with the likes of Jimmy Nasham, Mark Chapman, Daryl Mitchell, Mitchell Santner yet to come in the lineup. So that's the story. It's going to be the New Zealand batters versus the Afghan spinners. That's the story out there for New Zealand. They've already lost 2 wickets to Mujib. How are they going to play the spinners here? Mujib once again into his 3rd straight over. Too close to cut. And Phillips misses the ball. That will be a dot ball. How are they going to play Mujib? He's picked up 2 wickets for 8 runs of his 2 overs, coming into his 3rd. This time, poor delivery. Banged in shot. Straying down the leg. And Glenn Phillips won't miss out on this opportunity. Swivels across and pulls it past the short fine leg fielder. The ball races away into the boundary. 4 runs for the batter there. A wonderful, wonderful shot. An error in line. A rare, rare error in line from Mujib. Straying down the leg and a half tracker. Pushed it through the air. A wrong length, wrong line there. And he has been punished. 4 runs to the Black Caps there. 48 for 2 after 5.2 overs. The last over of power play. Will Glenn Phillips looks to maximize the fielding restrictions. This time tries to go through the covers. But no run there. Hits it straight to the point fielder. Mujibur Rahman running in. Darts it through the air. Pushes it through the air. Quicker one this time. And Glenn Phillips taps it back to the bowler. No damage done there. No run there. Mujibur Rahman bowling exceptionally. 2 for 12 runs. 2 wickets for 12 runs. Into his 3rd over. 2 more balls to go. With this time flighted delivery and a lot of width there. A half volley and Glenn Phillips' eyes lit up as soon as he saw the flight. Goes through the line, through the covers. A wonderful, wonderful 4. What a shot. Gets under the ball. And beautifully, beautifully hits through the line. Over the mid-off fielder. And 4 runs to Glenn Phillips there. 8 runs coming off this over. Last ball to go. Last ball of the power play. Onto the pads and he tucks it to the fielder at square leg. That'll just be 8 runs off the over. And New Zealand will be pretty happy to get 8 off Mujib's over. And that'll be 52 for 2 after 6 overs, and the required run rate now slowly climbing towards 9.5 despite the 8 runs. That's the equation out there in the middle. With 183 to chase, New Zealand are 52 for 2, beg your pardon, after 6 overs. With Tim Seifert still out there in the middle, batting on 31 of 19, and Glenn Phillips batting on 18 of 13. And the departed batters are Finn Allen and Rachin Ravindra, castled both by Mujibur Rahman off the same over. Finn Allen falling for 1 run and Rachin Ravindra falling for a golden duck. Not a good homecoming for Rachin Ravindra back to Chennai here. The former Chennai Super Kings batter would have expected to put up a show here, but unfortunately he had to depart to a peach of a delivery. Mujibur Rahman pushed it through the air. The ball hit the surface and skid through and darted into the stumps. And Rachin Ravindra was stranded, clueless out there in the middle. First ball, and he had to make the long walk back. So that's the scenario out there. Since then, Tim Seifert and Glenn Phillips have held on to the fort. A partnership of 38 of 26, and New Zealand still required 131 of 84 balls, and the teams are now, and the drinks are out now. Earlier today, Afghanistan opted to bat, and they put up a total of 182, with Gulabdin Naib being the star of the show. He was promoted up the order to at number 3, 63 of 35, hitting 4 sixes and 3 fours. A beautiful, beautiful knock by the muscular man out there. Well supported by Atal, who scored 29. Darwish Rasuli pitched in with 20. And a finishing touch by Azmatullah Omarzai, 14 runs, and Mohammad Nabi, 10 runs. The ever young Mohammad Nabi, the 41-year-old Mohammad Nabi, still giving his services to cricket all around the globe and to the Afghanistan cricket. So that's the scenario here. The game is going to be between how New Zealand are going to play the Afghanistan spinners. Let's see how things proceed in the next hour or so. 8 overs of spin coming in with the likes of Rashid Khan and Mujibur Rahman, and with Chennai favouring the spinners. The New Zealand batters have to cautiously or take calculated risk on how they are going to tackle those 8 overs and whom they are going to target, especially the fast bowlers, so that they can compensate for the cautious batting they have to play against the spinners. Well, you never know what strategy they are going to implement. Will Glenn Phillips be taking on Rashid Khan and putting up a counter-attack? Let's see how things goes as Rashid Khan brings himself onto the attack for the first time in the innings just after the end of the power play. Will Glenn Phillips play the aggressive knocks? Some words exchanged between Phillips and Rashid Khan on a positive note. A friendly banter there. A shake of the hands between them. That's the end of the power play, and Rashid Khan straight away brings himself onto the attack into Seifert. Well flighted delivery outside the off stump, and Seifert guides it to the long off reach, and 1 run for the Kiwi batter there. Tim Seifert, since the 2024 World Cup, is known to hit boundary every 3 balls. That's his stat out there. A wonderful, wonderful exponent of T20 cricket. He's a power, muscular man. Well built. He can tonk the ball hard. He can clear the ropes easily. As well as Glenn Phillips, who's been in exceptional form, especially during the India tour, even during the one days, even during the T20 internationals. He and Daryl Mitchell. No wonder Daryl Mitchell has always tormented India in India, but this time Glenn Phillips stood up to the occasion, and his promising roles have led New Zealand to stick with him at number 4 position. This time Rashid Khan into the pads, and Seifert guides it to the fielder wide of long on, and they'll pick up 1 run. Rashid Khan, well flighted delivery, half volley there, lot of time there. He goes under the ball, and Phillips hit it straight over the bowler's head, right into the side screen. 6 runs for the Kiwi batter there. A wonderful, wonderful pickup shot. A well flighted delivery. Moves his leg across, straight as an arrow, and hits it over the bowler's head. 84 meter 6 straight into the side screen. This time banged in shot. Poor delivery from Rashid Khan here. Drags the ball down. And Glenn Phillips was quick there to rock back and pulls it to the cow corner region. One bounce into the fence. A dolly there from Rashid Khan. And Glenn Phillips capitalizes on it wonderfully well. Rocks back and smashes it towards the cow corner region. One bounce into the fence. 10 runs coming off the last 2 balls. New Zealand batters are going hard on Rashid Khan. Is this counter-attack going to be the way they're going to play Rashid Khan here? Once again, banged in shot. Poor ball there. Pull shot there, but this time fails to find the gap. One bounce to the fielder there at the deep mid-wicket region. That will be the end of the over. New Zealand are 66 for 2 at the end of the 7th over. The batters to come in for New Zealand: Mark Chapman, Daryl Mitchell, Mitchell Santner, Jimmy Neesham. A lot of batting on the cards for the Kiwi batters, for the Kiwi camp there. A lot of power hitters, a lot of people who are well accustomed to this format of the game. Let's see how things go ahead for them. That's the story out there in the middle. Zairur Rahman has been brought into the attack. The right arm fast medium pace bowler has been now brought into the attack for the first time in this innings. 7 overs, 66 for 2. New Zealand requiring 117 of 78 balls. The 50 partnership between Seifert and Glenn Phillips of 30 balls. Banks in shot, too close to the body to pull, but he still managed to pull it to the deep square leg region. 1 run to the batter there. 116 required of 77. A well-built partnership, 53 for 3 after the Afghanistan spinner Mujibur Rahman created an early dent into the New Zealand batting top order, taking the wickets of Rachin Ravindra as well as Finn Allen in the same over, both being clean bowled in the same over. Since then, these two, the batters out there in the middle, have managed to put up 53 of 33 and have stabilized the innings. Zaya this time angled into the batter once again, gently tapped towards the deep mid-wicket region, and the batters scamper for second run there. Good running out there between the two batters despite the heat in Chennai in the MB Chidambaram Stadium. And that's been signalled a no ball. That's a gift for New Zealand. The umpire signals free hit. That's going to be a free hit for Tim Seifert, who's on strike back again. Sharifi there just overstepping on the line, and the umpire and the line belongs to the umpire, and that's going to be a free hit for New Zealand. The run rate now just about 8.5. What looked like 9.5 at one stage has slowly climbed down closer to 8.5. A Yorker leg delivery and well fielded at the cover region. The batter tried to squeeze it past the cover region, but good fielding there by the Afghanistan skipper Rashid Khan. A diving effort to stop the ball, and no damage done there off the free hit. A well bowled free hit right in the block hole. All the batter could get was the bottom of the badge as he tried to squeeze it past the cover, but no damage done there. Just an extra run. That'll be a dot ball. Sharifi well wide outside the off stump, and the umpire will flex his arms. That'll be given as wide. Too tight on the bowler there. Cricket can be a cruel game. Tight margins there, and the umpire calls it a wide. The wicket keeper is not happy, so is the bowler, but no questions there. He'll have to go back to this pavilion, to the lineup, and he'll have to bowl the ball once again. 112 required of 76. That's the equation out there. Afghanistan putting up a wonderful, decent score of 182 for 6 of the 20. New Zealand 71 for 2 after 7.2. That's a good ball. A half tracker, but Seifert was early into the shot. Goes for the pull. Ball kept low, but just over the stumps. And he's been beaten. To all our new listeners out there, welcome to Sports Beyond Cancer. This is Shourabh Vittalmurthy, a former journalist who had covered sports across the globe and who had a stint in New Zealand for 4 years. That's the reason I am wearing the New Zealand cap today, supporting the Kiwis. I hope you all are enjoying the stream, and please hit the subscribe button. Comment who do you think is going to win the game, and stay tuned for more sporting actions across the globe as we bring a lot of games, a lot of watch-alongs, and a lot of sports analysis on this channel. This is a new venture for me as I'm entering my remission phase after defeating the cancer for the fifth time, especially in the last 2 years. It's been a tough battle, and I wanted to keep my passion for sports alive, and that is the reason for starting this channel, and that is the reason for the name behind this channel, Sports Behind Cancer, because sports helped me battle through the cancers, and that is the reason I'm sitting here right from the comfort of the desk, trying to follow my passion, giving it all back to the sporting community, and hope you guys love it. Please hit the subscribe button and do show in your support, and let's all be a part of the bigger sporting community and show the power of the human spirit. Once again, Zia backs it in shot. This time rocks back and taps it to the fielder at the sweeper cover region. 1 run for Glenn Phillips out there. 110 required of 73. That's the equation. The run rate slowly creeping above 9 runs. The partnership now racing to 59 of 37. And please don't forget to share it with your friends, family, children, grandchildren, grandparents, and to anyone who loves sports or is a sports fanatic or a cricket fanatic. Let's all build a big sporting community at Sports Beyond Cancer. And please, let's all spread the word of positivity. And if anyone is undergoing a tough phase or anyone is going through rough times, I'm always open for a chat to motivate them or to let them know that it's always good to hear someone. It's always good to lean on to someone. That's what I have learned all these years, especially during my 5th battle with cancer. So please feel free to reach out to me. We can have a talk, and I'm always here to hear, and we can all show the spirit behind the power behind the human spirit. So that's my story, and that's the last ball of the over. 2 runs of the last ball, angled into the right-hander, work towards the long on region, and that'll be the end of the over. 75 for 2 after 8 overs, and please help me reach that 1,000 subscriber mark, as it will definitely motivate me to continue this work and bring sports live to you and continue my passion for sports and sports journalism, which has been an integral part of my life before cancers. I have been a journalist back there in New Zealand, back there in India, covering different leagues, IPL, Tokyo Olympics, everything on the globe almost, including rugby, cricket, football. And since the past 2.5 years, I had a tough battle with my fifth cancer since the last 2 years, and so I have managed to finally complete it, defeat it, and now I have entered remission phase. Still, there's a couple of plastic surgeries left, but I'm still clinging on to hope, and sports has always been my hope. I always looked at sports and always hoped one day that I will be back into this field, and that has kept me alive through the fight. That has kept me motivated. I'm back here once again. So please help me reach the 1,000 subscriber button so I can pay off my medical debts and be there once again to face life and come back stronger in this life filled with chaos and battles. So that's my story there. Azmatullah back into the attack, single off the first ball. The second ball angled into the batter, and he taps it to the deep square leg region. 1 run to the batter there. Please hit the comment button. Please hit the subscribe button. Show all the love you got. Let's all spread the sporting community at Sports Beyond Cancer. That's my story there. Get back to the game. Partnership is 63 of 40, and New Zealand requiring 106 of 70 balls. The run rate slowly creeping above 9 runs now. Phillips 33 of 21. Facing Azmatullah this time. Banged in shot there. A lot of width there. And he goes for the cut shot. Goes over the infield, over the point region. And the ball goes towards the third man region. 1 bounce into the boundary. 4 runs. Wonderful shot by the Kiwi batter there. The Black Caps are en route the chase. A beautiful shot. Big man there. The ball was climbing in him. He rocks back exceptionally and cuts the ball over the infield, over the point fielder, and the ball goes towards the deep backward point region. 4 runs there. A wonderful shot. Once again, banged in shot. Poor ball. on the leg, and he pulls across, manages to get an edge, and the ball goes past the short third man fielder. No protection out there in the deep. 4 runs for Tim Seifert, beg your pardon, Glenn Phillips. He is raced to 41 of 23. Are Afghanistan losing the plot here? They picked up 2 early wickets of the second over, sending Finn Allen and Rachin Ravindra back for nothing. And these 2 batters out there at the middle have managed to stabilize the innings and have put New Zealand at a very, very good position. New Zealand now, the win predictor climbing to 55%. What looked very bleak at one stage, slowly New Zealand has once again gained the upper hand. The win predictor looks 55% in favour to New Zealand. Azmatullah this time angling into the pads, and Glenn Phillips tucks it towards the deep mid-wicket region. 1 run for the batter there. "97 runs required of 67. That's the equation out there. 86 for 2. 3 fielders out there in the deep on the leg side and 2 on the offside. No protection out there in the third man region. Azmatullah angles into the batter, and he taps it once again gracefully to the fielder at the deep mid-wicket region. And that'll be the end of the over. 87 for 2 after 9, and New Zealand requiring 96 of the 11 overs. 66 balls. That's the equation there, out there in the middle at M.A. Chidambaram Stadium from the 4th match of the ICC Men's T20 World Cup 2026. What a start to the ICC Men's T20 World Cup 2026. 3 games, 3 blockbuster games yesterday. Pakistan managing to narrowly win the game against Netherlands by 3 wickets and 3 wickets to spare. And then West Indies winning the game comfortably by 35 runs against Scotland, with the stars being Shimron Hetmyer with the bat and Romario Shepherd and Jason Holder with the ball. Romario Shepherd even picking up the first hat-trick of the season, including 4 wickets of the same over, and he managed to pick a fifer in the game. And then in the night, India getting a scare from USA. 77 for 6 at one stage, but Surya Kumar Yadav, who was dropped initially, capitalized on the drop catch and went on to play an unbeaten knock of 80 plus odd runs, taking India to safety, 161 for 9. And then the Indian bowlers, with the likes of Mohammad Siraj, Varun Chakravarti, Arshdeep Singh, getting India home a victory by 30 runs. So that's the story. And today we are for the 4th game. 3 exciting done and dusted yesterday. And in the 4th game, we are well poised and looking towards a good match with 11 overs left in the game. New Zealand are 88 for 2, requiring 95 from 65 balls as they try to chase the 183 target set by Afghanistan. And that's clean bowled. Glenn Phillips has dragged it on to the stumps, and Glenn Phillips has to depart. And Rashid Khan, the Afghanistan skipper, is pumped out there. He's pumped. He's elated. A well-flighted delivery and well wide outside the off stump. And Glenn Phillips goes for the big drive. Only manages to get an edge. And it's crashed into the middle stump. Unlucky there for the batter there, but Rashid Khan there is extremely animated. He has some send-off words for the Phillips there, who took on him in the last over. And he's saving us, and is giving a send-off to Glenn Phillips out there. Frustration shown out there by Rashid, and the batter has to depart. 88 for 3. Glenn Phillips has to depart for a well-made 42 of 25. Rashid Khan giving the big breakthrough. The partnership was taking the game away from Afghanistan. 74 runs of 46, and Rashid Khan, well within time at the most crucial stage, takes the wicket of Glenn Phillips. Clean bowled. All the 3 wickets have been clean bowled. And Rashid Khan coming into party tonight. Unlucky on the batter there. An under edge, beg your pardon. An under edge, and he's chopped it onto the stumps. The new batter in there for Black Caps. would be Mark Chapman. Mark Chapman hits it towards the mid-off region, long-off region, beg your pardon, and gets off the mark. A pumped up Rashid Khan, an under edge, and it's cleaned him up. Rashid Khan giving him an animated send-off, especially after he was torn apart by Glenn Phillips in the previous over. Again, well-flighted delivery. Hit back straight in the air. Wide off the field, bowler there. Rashid Khan throws in his left hand. Fails to get any contact on the ball. And the ball goes to the long off region as the batsmen cross for 1 run. Rashid Khan running in this time to Mark Chapman. A little bit short there. Mark Chapman cuts it to the sweeper cover region. As the fielder from the deep point, backward point region cuts it off, the batters have sufficient time to come back for the second run. 2 runs to the tally of Chapman as well as New Zealand requiring 91 from 61 balls. Rashid Khan has picked up his first wicket in his second over. He is 19 for 1 of 1.5 overs. Rashid Khan this time into Mark Chapman. Wonderfully bowled there. The ball's been angled into the pads, into the batter. And the batter, respecting the delivery, defends it calmly. And that'll be the end of the over. After 10 overs, the midway stage in the chase, New Zealand are 92 for 3. And they require 9.1 runs of the required run rate is 9.1 as New Zealand required 91 of 60 balls. Glenn Phillips just falling in the previous over to Rashid Khan. Unlucky to be bowled off the under edge. Coming up later today will be the Group C encounter between England and Nepal from Mumbai. And then it will be the host Sri Lanka taking on Ireland, the Group B encounter at 7:30 p.m. today. So 2 exciting games on the cards. England and Nepal. Nepal have been promising recently. They are growing through the ranks slowly and gradually, but a lot of promising cricketers out there. And England will be keen to put up a good show in this World Cup, especially after their series against Sri Lanka. This time banged in shot, and Cypher taps it to the deep backward point region. 1 run to the batter there. 90 required of 60 balls. New Zealand require 1 more partnership to stabilize the innings and let the other batters do the tonking. Probably set short targets here, reach to around 130 or 135 by the end of the 15th over, and then take the game away from there. Take the game deep, take the game as deep as possible, providing a chance for the batters to tonk the other bowlers. They will have to play cautiously, especially against the spinners. The spinners are going to torment them, given that this is a Chennai wicket which has always favored the spinners, and these 2 are world-class spinners, Rashid Khan and Mujibur Rahman. This time poor ball banged in there. No protection at all in the deep. The ball wasn't climbing on the batter. A good length there for it to be hit, and he is swiveled across and timed it perfectly towards the mid-wicket region. 4 runs there for Mark Chapman. Poor bowling there. No protection there. A wrong ball to bowl with no protection out there in the deep. And that's a dolly for the batter there. Lot of time there. Swivels across, shifts his weight. And Rashid Khan seems to be upset there with the bowler. Zia running in. Wide of off stump. And Rashid Khan, beg your pardon, Azmat from the backward point region will cut it off at the sweeper cover region, and he'll restrict the batsman to 2 runs. Three wickets picked up by Afghanistan. All the 3 clean bowled by the spinners. 2 for Mujib and 1 for Rashid. After 10.3, New Zealand are 99 for 3. 84 requiring of 57. Zia running in, banks in short, wide outside the off stump. And he tries to squeeze the ball past the fielder at the mid-off region, but a diving effort there from the fielder at mid-off towards his right. Full stretch dive, and he manages to save the boundary. 3 runs saved there. Great commitment, great effort from the fielder there. 3 runs saved for the team there. A wonderful, wonderful effort there as New Zealand 100 there up for New Zealand of 10.4 overs. 83 required of 56. This time well bowled, angling into the batter. He tries to squeeze it towards the leg side, but nothing there. The ball rolls back to the bowler. A dot ball there. .83 required of 55. That's the equation. One last ball in this over. Zia running in hard to bowl to Seifert. Banged in shot. A slower bouncer there. A lot of time there. A lot of width there. Pulls it way outside from outside the off stump towards the deep mid wicket fielder. All along the ground. 1 run. And that will be the end of the 11th over. 101 for 3 as New Zealand require 83 of the next 83 of 54 balls. 82 of 54 balls. The run rate. The required run rate now just over 9. And New Zealand and the Black Caps have a lot of big hitters coming down the line through the lineup, with the likes of Daryl Mitchell, who's been in impressive form, especially on the Indian subcontinent. And they also have the all-rounder, big hitting all-rounder Jimmy Nasham on the cards. So it needs to be seen how New Zealand plan the chase, especially with these two out there in the middle. A 30-40 partnership here will bring New Zealand back into this game, especially in the next 3 overs. This time, Rashid Khan, a flighted delivery, and Seifert goes straight past the bowler. A powerful hit straight past Rashid Khan, and it goes like a tracer bullet and slams into the advertising board. 4 runs, a well-flighted delivery, but Seifert moves his front leg and hits it straight past the bowler, close to the umpire. The umpire ducks down, and it's into the fence. 4 runs for Seifert. What a start to the over. Banged in shot, and the ball stopped on the batter there. He's hit the ball in the air to the left of Rashid Khan, and he's dived for the ball. He fumbles the ball first time, second time, third attempt, and he's dropped it. He's failed to catch it. That was a wonderful, wonderful attempt. Rashid Khan failing to latch onto the ball there. A wonderful effort there from the Afghanistan skipper. This time Rashid Khan, a googly angling into the pads. All the batsman can do is top it to the fielder towards the leg side. No run there. Dot ball. A close chance there with Rashid Khan, the previous ball. This time banged in shot. The batter rocks back and cuts it to the backward point region. Just 1 run, and that'll be 77 required of 50. This time goes straight down the wicket. Mark Chapman this time, but it will be cut off by the fielder. A wonderful, wonderful dive from the fielder to cut off the ball within the fence at long off. 2 runs to the team and 2 runs to New Zealand, and 2 runs saved by the fielder there. Good commitment out there in the deep. This time rocks back and hits the ball straight to the fielder at mid-wicket region. Dot ball to end the over, and that will be 108 for 3 after 12. And Rashid Khan gives away bowls a wonderful over, just giving away 7 runs off the over, and the required run rate now inching towards 9.5. New Zealand requiring 75 of the last 8 overs. most runs for New Zealand in T20 internationals. Seifert has crossed the 2000 mark and he's at number 5 position for the Kiwis out there. Well, the experienced Nabi has been thrown the ball, the right arm off break bowler, the 42-year-old, beg your pardon, I'm not sure if it's 42 or 41. I think it's 41. Yes, the 41-year-old Afghanistan legend Mohammad Nabi has been thrown the ball to shoulder responsibility of defending this chase. This time coming in from around the wicket, angling into the pads, hits the thigh pad and goes to the short third man fielder. No runs out there. A loosener there from Nabi, but no damage done there. Seifert, one shot of a well-deserved 50. He's on strike. And Nabi bangs it in short. But this time Seifert has got clear hold of it, gets good meat off the bat and hits it over the fielder at deep square leg region. 6 runs, the ball hits the advertising stands. And that's a well-deserved 50 for the Black Caps opener. Standing ovation from the dugout there. Around the wicket, a shot of a length delivery. Seifert swivels across, picks it up wonderfully. And the New Zealand camp is happy. He raises his bat and acknowledges the crowd. A wonderful knock under pressure, especially after 2 wickets fell in the second over. Seifert and Glenn Phillips held the fort and Seifert is still carrying on. Bowled around the wicket this time, lot of flight there, and Seifert will definitely not miss out on that. He goes down on one knee and sweeps it over the cow corner region, into the stands, into the crowd, and that will be a maximum. An expensive over for Afghanistan here. 12 runs coming off it, of the first 3 balls, and he's taken it to the cleaners against Mohammad Nabi. Is this the bowler they're going to target against? Is this the side that they're going to target against? Short side. And Seifert cleverly targeting the leg side. $63 runs required from 45. That's the equation now. The run rate, the required run rate, slowly climbing down to less than 8.5 now. A wide full toss outside the off stump. That's a poor ball. Seifert has a wide variety of shots. He's placed it, drived it past the cover regions, wide of the long off fielder. 4 runs to him and New Zealand. What a wonderful shot. A beautiful drive all along the ground. The ball was meant to be hit. A seam-up delivery from Mohammad Nabi. He tried to bring in some extra pace, but bowls the full toss wide of the batter, and he drives it past the long off fielder for 4 runs. Once again, bowls in short. This time he goes for the pull. The ball wasn't that short to be hit. He goes for the pull, and it's hit down, straight down the throat of the fielder there at deep square leg. And Mohammad Nabi is upset with himself, especially with the types of balls he bowled earlier. But Seifert has to depart. He's thrown the ball. He's thrown it away after the last 3 balls, and after what's the wonderful knock. He's hit the ball straight to the fielder at deep square leg region. Caught by Azmatullah, and Seifert has to depart for a well-played 65 of 42. The innings was decorated with 3 sixes and 7 fours. Seifert is livid with himself. That ball was meant to be hit on the pads once again. Short of a length delivery. He failed to get good connection on the bat there, and he has to depart and make the long walk back to the pavilion. Tim Seifert dismissed by Nabi, caught by Azmatullah for 65, and the partnership's been broken once again. 36 for 21. Will 1 wicket bring in 2 for Afghanistan? They will be hoping that they could get 1 or 2 more and dig deep into the lower batting order of New Zealand and put some pressure. For 59 required of 43. The required run rate slowly climbing down below 8.5. 16 runs coming off the first 5 balls and a wicket falling to. A dramatic over happening here out in the M.A. Chidambaram Stadium, Chennai. And Daryl Mitchell, who formerly also had a stint with Chennai Super Kings, will be well accustomed to this pitch. Once again around the leg, this time he taps it cleverly, gently towards the deep mid-wicket region, as Nabi traces to get the ball back, but the batters have sufficient time to come back for the second run. Daryl Mitchell has been wonderful, especially in this format of this game and especially in the Indian subcontinent. He's someone who has tormented India in every series he visits to India. He is good with the white ball. He paces his innings wonderfully, has a wide variety of shots, can play both as the aggressor as well as the anchor. He times the ball perfectly well and also can use the long handle. Daryl Mitchell loves visiting India. The runs speak for themselves and the stats speak for themselves. And New Zealand will be hoping that in this World Cup, Daryl Mitchell continues his rich form, especially on the Indian subcontinent. And that will be the end of the over as Daryl Mitchell is off strike in the first ball, picking up 2 of the last ball. And New Zealand are 126 for 4, chasing a target of 183. Rashid Khan into his last over, this time well-flighted delivery. And the ball turning away from the batter, and the batsman is happy to guide it towards the mid-long off region for 1 run. A dramatic last over. 3 boundaries coming off it, and then Tim Seifert being caught at the deep square leg. As Tim Seifert walked back, he was extremely unhappy with himself. The ball was meant to be hit, but poor shot selection, and he has to depart. No point in crying over spilt milk over there. This time he goes for the reverse sweeps. Daryl Mitchell and his reverse sweeps. This batter is a star. He can manufacture shots. A wonderful reverse sweep past the short third man fielder. 4 runs for the batter there. Beautifully washed till the end. And Rashid Khan's put back under pressure. A perfectly executed reverse sweep. Beautifully dissected between the deep point and the short third man fielder. Going all along the ground. 4 runs there. No risk taken there at all. Comfortably 4 runs into his bag. Rashid Khan this time. And Daryl Mitchell gently tapping it. He is a smart cricketer. Daryl Mitchell, whenever there's an opportunity, he'll go for the runs. And when he knows that there's a good ball, he'll tap it around gently in the gaps. He'll pick up the quick singles, push for the second ones, and he's definitely been a smart cricketer. And he's been tormenting India, especially in the Indian subcontinent. And all the batters can manage this time is 1 run. Mark Chapman, the ball was angling into the wicket. He taps it to the mid-wicket fielder there, and the batters easily complete 1 run. 50 required of 38. That's the equation. The run rate slowly climbing below 8 now. Afghanistan will need to get a couple of breakthroughs here to get an outside chance to fight this game. A couple of wickets can bring them back into this game. This time leg spinner onto the bats. Daryl Mitchell gently once again. What a clever, smart cricketer. Taps it gently to the deep mid-wicket region, knowing that the fielder is deep out there and the batters can come back easily for 2 runs there. 2 runs for Daryl Mitchell there. And 1 ball to go in Rashid Khan's spell there. The last ball of Rashid Khan's spell here. He's been given away 35 of his 3.5 and picked up the wicket of the dangerous Glenn Phillips, who was taking the Afghanistan bowlers apart today. Rashid Khan running into Daryl Mitchell. Well-flighted delivery. Once again, gently taps it to the deep mid-wicket region. They were interested for the second run, but denied by Mark Chapman there. And that will be the end of the over. 10 runs coming off it. A good over for New Zealand. New Zealand are 136 for 4 after 14 overs. 47 runs required in 36 balls. And that will be the drinks break. New Zealand earlier started off very well by scoring 12 runs of the first over, but in the second over they were dented by 2 breakthroughs. Mujibur Rahman cleaning up both Finn Allen and Rachin Ravindra. Rachin Ravindra falling to a golden duck, and Phil Allen just managing to put up 1 run on the scoreboard today. Then Glenn Phillips and Tim Seifert steadied the ship. The ship that was sinking was steadied by Tim Seifert and Glenn Phillips out there in the middle. Beautiful batting by Glenn Phillips. with a strike rate of 168, 25 ball, 42, and he was unfortunate to be dismissed of Rashid Khan. He went for the drive, got an undercut that unfortunately landed onto the stumps, and he had to depart. Tim Seifert played a beautiful, beautiful knock, a 42 ball, 65 under circumstances, but a poor shot selection, a short ball outside the leg stump onto his body, and he pulls it straight down the throat of the fielder at deep square leg region, and he had to depart. Caught Azmatullah, bowled Mohammad Nabi, 65 of 42 with a strike rate of 154.76. And that's the story now. 136 for 4 of 14. And the required run rate is just above 5, with New Zealand requiring 47 of 36. And Afghanistan will be keen to get a couple of wickets here to put pressure back on the New Zealand camp there. To all our listeners out there, please hit the subscribe button and show some love towards the stream as well as the channel as well as my journey. Your support and love means a lot and will keep me motivated to follow my passion, follow my dream as I navigate through the tough phase of my life. And thank you for being a part of the Sports Beyond Cancer community. This is Shourabh Vittalmurthy thanking you all. Thank you for joining in for the live stream broadcast between Afghanistan and New Zealand, the 4th T20 International in the ICC Men's T20 World Cup 2026. This is the first match of the second day. We have 2 more matches coming up today, with England taking on Nepal and Sri Lanka playing their home game against Ireland. Mujibur Rahman. He has been thrown the ball. Is this the last chance for Afghanistan to make a comeback into this game? Or will New Zealand be eager to play him off and then take on the other bowlers? 6 balls to go from Mujib. What impact can he do? Banged in shot this time onto the pads, and the ball's been hit to the short fine leg fielder, and the batter scamper for a quick single. Mujib's picked up 2 wickets for 17 off his 3.1 overs, and Rashid Khan and the Afghanistan camp will be hoping that he gives them another breakthrough and puts them back into this game, while New Zealand might look to see him off. Just 5 more balls from Mujib, and that'll be the end of his spell for today. Mark Chapman, but poor ball there. Banged in well wide outside the leg stump. All Chapman can do is pull it to the fielder at deep square leg region. 1 run. 2 wickets for Mujib in his first over today, castling the 2 top order New Zealand batters. What an absolute sight for a spinner to see the middle stumps go cartwheeling. Wonderful, wonderful sight for any bowler, not just a spinner. And this time Mujib, a beautiful, beautiful ball onto the pads, and Mitchell gracefully taps it to the fielder at the long off region and picks up a single. This time poor ball there, a full toss there, and Mark Chapman will not miss out on it. A full toss in the arc, wide outside the off stump, and Mark Chapman hits it over the corner region deep into the stands. A big 6 for Mark Chapman there. He tried to go for the googly, misses his length. A full toss at a good length, and a 92-meter 6 for Mark Chapman. A huge 6 at the corner region. That's a gift from clever batting out there. Premeditated shot there from Mark Chapman. Goes across the off stump and gets down on one knee and scoops the ball past the short fine leg fielder as the ball rolls towards the fine leg boundary. 4 runs. A good over for New Zealand here. They have taken the attack to Mujibur Rahman in his last over. Capitalized on the bad ball, and now some cheeky improvisation from the Black Caps batter out there in the middle. Once again banged in shot this time. He cuts it to the fielder at the sweeper cover region, and the fielder will cut it off, and the batters will come back for 2 runs. Good running out there by the batters. That'll be the end of the overs. That's the end of the spell for Mujibur Rahman. An expensive over to end off for Mujibur Rahman, especially under the circumstances. 15 runs coming off it, and that puts New Zealand back into the game. 15 runs, and Mujibur Rahman completes his spell. 4 overs, 31 for 2. A wonderful spell, nevertheless. And New Zealand require 32 runs of 30 balls, and the run rate has suddenly drastically reduced to less than 6.5, with 32 runs required of the next 30 balls, 5 overs. 6.4, the required run rate for New Zealand, and Mitchell Santner and Party to start their campaign on a winning note at M. Chidambaram Stadium, Chennai. Azmat is back into the attack. The ball slips from his hands. Oh, that's a dangerous full toss. Was it or not? Is this going to be a no ball? An apology straight away from the bowler there to the batter. But that wasn't a no ball, I guess. It hits him on the handle. But Azmatullah showing good sportsmanship spirit there right away, realizing that was a dangerous ball, apologizes to the batter. But no signal of no ball from the umpire there. And New Zealand batters having a discussion there, but there's no review out for a no ball there. The leg umpire will probably have a check of this. "29 balls, 31 runs. That's the equation out there. To all our listeners out there, New Zealand are well within the victory's gasp. 31 required of 29 in this fourth game of the ICC Men's T20 World Cup 2026, co-hosted by India and Sri Lanka. The New Zealand are currently 151 for 4 as they are en route the chase of 183 against Afghanistan. Afghanistan earlier batted wonderfully, especially Gulabdin scoring 60 odd runs and well supported by the other batters around him, and good finishing touches provided by Azmatullah and Mohammad Nabi as they raced to 182 for 6 of the 20. And that's been confirmed. That's a no ball. The leg umpire has made a decision. That'll be a no ball and that'll be a free hit. 30 required of 30, and Chapman will be on strike to take on the free hit. Azmatullah running in, bangs it in short, a slower bouncer perhaps, and Chapman goes for the pull and misses the length. That was dying down on him, kept low, and he is beaten. That's the dot ball. Missed out opportunity on this free hit, but nevertheless 30 runs required of 29 balls. The required run rate now less than 6.5, with Daryl Mitchell and Mark Chapman still out there in the middle, and a couple of batters still in the lineup. New Zealand will fancy an easy win there this time. He charges down the ground, good length ball there, tries to manufacture a shot in the air, but a couple of bounces towards the long on fielder. All he can get is 1 run. Azmatullah running in this time, angling towards the bowler, and Daryl Mitchell tucks it away towards the deep square leg fielder calmly, and the batters comfortably cross over for a single. This is the live game from the Group D of the ICC Men's T20 World Cup 2026. A couple of games to come today. England versus Nepal and Sri Lanka versus Ireland. Exciting games ahead of us on the second day of this World Cup campaign. This time the batter tries to go inside out. The ball was angling into the batter, and it's straight into the hands of Rashid Khan, who's positioned himself at the cover region. Poor shot selection there, and that'll be the end of Mark Chapman. A well played 28 under circumstances, 28 of 17. That's a poor shot that brings an end to him. Tried to go hard, only managing to hit it straight down the throat of Rashid Khan, who accepts it gracefully. No much celebrations out there in the Afghanistan dressing camp as Mark Chapman departs for 28, caught by Rashid Khan, bowled Azmatullah. New Zealand are 155 for 5, 15.4 overs, and the required run rate still less than 6.5. 28 runs required of 26, and the partnership of 31's been broken here by Azmatullah. Can 1 wicket bring in 2? What do you think, listeners? Can Afghanistan come back into this game? Who do you think can provide Afghanistan that crucial over over where he gives away just 3 or 4 runs and picks up a 1 wicket or 2 wickets, so that Afghanistan have a chance to dig into the tail of the New Zealand batting lineup. Can Afghanistan do the miracle again? Can 1 wicket bring 2? Can Azmatullah do the magic here? 28 required of 26. And New Zealand skipper Mitchell Santner is out there in the middle. Mitchell Santner all set to flit. Azmatullah banged in shot this time. Tries to guide it past the third man region. And there's some appeal from the keeper. And the bowler joining in. But nothing there from the umpire. He has a look at the captain. Will they be going for the DRS? No, they are not interested. That'll just be a dot ball. No damage done there. Good length there for the new batter there. Wonderfully bowled. Coming from around the wicket. Pitching in line and angling away from the left-hander. Going away from Mitchell Santner. And lands into the keeper gloves. Dot ball. Azmatullah, wonderful ball this time. An in-swinger to Santner there. Pitches away and comes in. And Santner is all laugh there. He's smiling around. That's a wonderful, wonderful ball from Azmatullah. 2 dot balls and a wicket to end the over. Just 4 runs off it. A wonderful, wonderful over under pressure here. New Zealand required 28 runs of 24 as they are 155 for 5. Afghanistan, this over is going to be extremely crucial. Can they manage to restrict the batters to less than 4 or 5 runs and pick up a wicket or 2? This can be the turnaround of things and can make the match interesting and take the match down the wire. Can someone produce a moment of magic? Who is it going to be? Mujib Rahman is done with the spell. Rashid Khan is done with the spell. Who is Rashid Khan going to throw the ball to? Who can give them that crucial over to bring them back into this game, provide that moment of magic? The ball's currently being thrown back to Ziaur Sharifi, and Mitchell taps it to the deep mid-wicket region. Clever, smart batting from the Mitchell as always. Taps it gently so the batters have sufficient time to pick up 2 runs. I mean, he's always looking for runs, not just looking for the big hits. He's a smart cricketer there. Whenever there's an opportunity to be hit, he goes for the big shots. And when there's a good ball, instead of defending it, he taps it gently in between the gaps and picks up a couple or 2. That's how smart Daryl Mitchell has been. And he is proving himself why he's been so consistent, especially in the Indian subcontinent, with a lot of gaps out there in the middle. Mitchell Santner easily picking up 2 runs and reducing the deficit, the runs by 2 runs. This time, a slower bouncer tries to pull it, only managed to get the edge of the bat, and the ball rolls to the fielder, the long on region, 1 run. Go Kiwis, go Kiwis. Would be extremely happy if the finals would be New Zealand versus India. Both the teams that I favor in the finals. Obviously, I'll be supporting India in the finals, but will be extremely happy if the finals is going to be India versus New Zealand, because New Zealand has always been my second home, especially being there in Dunedin for 4 years. Have gained a lot of fascination towards New Zealand and New Zealand people, the amount of kindness and love they show, and the sort of life they live. Things apart, 25 required from 22 for New Zealand here. The bowlers has been stopped by Santner in between his run-up. A change of field there, and he spotted it, and the batter did not hesitate to stop the bowler there, well within his rights. Santner once again is set to face the delivery from Zia Sharifi. He's coming in over the wicket. A Yorker length delivery, well bowled. All he can do is squeeze the ball, opens the face and squeeze the ball towards the short cover fielder. Dot ball there, 25 from 21. Can Afghanistan produce some moments of magic? A run out, a brilliant catch, a couple of wickets, dot balls. Can they pile up some pressure and put some pressure back onto the New Zealand camp? Can they get a couple of wickets and dig deep into the lower batting order of New Zealand? Let's see. The next 15 minutes is going to be interesting. 21 balls, 25 runs. Yorker length delivery this time. All he can do is taps it to the fielder there. And the batter scamper for a quick run. Poor backing up there from the fielder as well as the keeper. Both of them have missed the ball, and the ball goes to the third man region, and the batters have sufficient time to come back for the second. The ball was tapped in towards the mid-off fielder, Mohammad Nabi. He has a shy at the bowler's end. Poor backing there from Rashid Khan, as well as the wicketkeeper. Both of them failed to back the ball, and the ball's gone rolling to the third man fielder there, and the batters easily completing the second run, and run easily gifted away, and Mitchell Santner will have the strike back. Jimmy Nasham, with his helmets on, is gearing to come out there in the middle and prove his power heading abilities. New Zealand bat deep, and they wouldn't be worried with the current required run rate. This time banged in shot, and Mitchell Santner, well wide outside the off stump, goes over the cover region between the covers and the mid-off fielder, and the ball rolls slowly towards the fence, and that'll be 4 runs. The run rate's been reduced to 6 now. 19 runs required of 19. Mitchell Santner, a wonderful shot over the head of the cover fielder there, and the ball teasingly rolls into the boundary fence as Mohammad Nabi from mid-off tries to chase the ball, but eventually the ball wins in the end. Mitchell Santner, 6 of 5. Full toss this time, and he punches it. A wonderful check shot. He punches the ball straight over the long off. A gift for Mitchell Santner. What a stroke there. What a timing there. Didn't try to hit the ball too hard. He timed the ball to perfection, and the ball sails over the long off for a beautiful 6. What a shot from the New Zealand skipper. Got underneath the ball and hits it straight over the long off region. Didn't try to hit the ball too hard. Timed it to perfection. And 6 runs for the New Zealand captain there. 15 runs coming off the over, and that's probably curtains for Afghanistan in this game. The win percentage now 85 for New Zealand, and that'll be the end of the over. New Zealand 170 for 5 after 17, and 13 required of the last 3 overs. The required run rate now falling below 4.5, and New Zealand are well within en route to complete this chase and get their first winning points in this World Cup campaign. Mitchell Santner 17 of 11, and Azmatullah has been brought back into the attack. He bowled a wonderful last over. This time once again banks in shot. Daryl Mitchell cleverly taps it towards the fielder, deep square leg. They were interested for the second run, but good fielding out there. The throw is back quick, and that'll just be 1 run. To all our listeners out there, please hit that subscribe button. That will mean a lot along our journey. That will mean a lot along for our passion. That will mean along for the love for sports and the sporting community. Please don't forget to share with your family, friends, relatives, cousins, children, grandchildren, grandparents, and let's all join in the sporting community and build a sporting community. Thank you for all the love and support you guys have shown me, and hopefully you will continue to do so. Azmatullah once again into the attack. This time banks in shot, and that's been cut past the fielders. Poor bowling there, a lot of width, and Mitchell Santner rocks back and places the ball, guides the ball perfectly between the short third man and the gully fielder there. Lot of room there. Easy shot there for the Kiwi skipper out there. A wonderful shot. The ball races away into the boundary fence. 4 runs there. Beg your pardon. The required run rate is now dropped to 3. Single figure digits, 8 from 16. That was well directed. Angling towards the batter into his pads. Santner taps it to the fielder in the cover region, and the batter scamper for a quick run. Rashid Khan having a shy at the bowler's end, and no damage done there. The batter completely reaching in, and that will be 1 run to Mitchell Santner and New Zealand. Seven runs required from 15. New Zealand are here comfortably to to get their first points on the table in their opening game of the Group D encounter in the fourth match of the ICC Men's T20 World Cup 2026, co-hosted by India and Sri Lanka. A full toss, poor ball there, and Daryl Mitchell goes big. There he goes. The ball goes flying in the air over the cow corner region. 6 run, and Daryl Mitchell is not happy with the 6. He's asking the leg umpire for a no ball. The ball was a full toss, probably close to the hips, and he's asking the leg umpire for a no ball. Poor ball there in his arc, full toss, and that's been sent upstairs. The umpires will have a look. It's been sent upstairs for a check on the no ball. I think that's dipping below his waist, and that should be a legal delivery. Adrian Holstock, the third umpire, under the scanner now to produce the decision. Just 1 run required now for New Zealand. An easy game for them. Henceforth, at one stage, they were dented by 2 quick wickets, especially in the second over of the chase, as Finn Allen and Rachin Ravindra fell off successive deliveries, clean bowled by Mujibur Rahman, a golden duck for Rachin Ravindra, and they were suddenly 2 down out of nowhere. And then Tim Seifert and Glenn Phillips stabilizing their innings. 42 of 25 for Glenn Phillips and 65 of 42 for Seifert, setting the tone for New Zealand. And then Mark Chapman and Daryl Mitchell consolidating their efforts. Mark Chapman playing 28 of 17 and Daryl Mitchell. And here he goes, hitting the winning runs. Daryl Mitchell taps it to the long on fielder. Once again a full toss, and that will be a win for New Zealand. A comfortable win for the Kiwis out there. The Afghanistan team will be distraught with themselves. A wonderful batting by the New Zealand here. They have managed to win with 2.1 overs left. 183 for 5. Daryl Mitchell unbeaten on 25 of 14. A clever calm knock under pressure. And Mitchell Santner, the New Zealand skipper, 17 runs of 8 balls with a strike rate of 212.5. And New Zealand have managed to get their first points and have started their campaign in the World Cup, T20 World Cup 2026 on a winning note in style. A wonderful effort by the Black Caps, and that's the way the Black Caps play, calm under pressure, each one shouldering responsibility. And there you go, an all-round team effort brings in a victory for New Zealand. So that's the story to all our listeners who have joined in or who have been listening. Thank you for being a part of this live stream commentary at Sports Beyond Cancer. This is Shourabh Vittalmurthy. I hope you enjoyed the game. This was the 4th match between in the ongoing World Cup between Afghanistan and New Zealand. Afghanistan earlier won the toss and they elected to bat first under the hot sun of the M.A. Chidambaram Stadium at Chennai. And batting first, they managed to get in 182 for 6 with Gulbuddin Naib, who was promoted up the order at number 3, scoring 63 of 35. And he paid back the faith showed in by the management, and he's played a wonderful knock with 4 sixes and 3 fours with a strike rate of 180. Sadiqullah Atal scored 29, Darvish Rasuli 20, and Azmatullah Omarzai scoring 14, and Nabi scored 10, all contributing towards the runs, and they managed to get 182 for 6 with New Zealand bowlers, Mitchell Santner being extremely economical, just like he has been all throughout his life, especially in the white format of the game, be it one-day internationals or the T20s, just giving away 23 runs with an economy of 5.80. Loki Ferguson picking up 2 wickets, giving away 40 runs. And Matt Henry bowling wonderfully, 1 for 27 of his spell of 4 overs. And into the chase, Tim Seifert started the chase wonderfully, picking up 12 runs of the first over, but Mujibur Rahman had other plans. He was thrown the ball in the second over, and he castled Finn Allen and Rachin Ravindra of successive ball. Rachin Ravindra, the former CSK player, would have hoped to play well under his well-known conditions, but bowled by a peach of a delivery by Mujibur Rahman. The ball was darted in and skid through and it crashed into his stumps. He had to make the long walk back, and New Zealand looked under big threat there, especially with two down at a very early stage, chasing 183 on a Chennai wicket, with Afghanistan having the likes of Rashid and Mujib under the belt, with Chennai known to favor the spinners. And with such world class spinners, Glenn Phillips and Tim Seifert solidified the innings, especially after the initial damage that the bowlers had done. They stabilized the sinking ship and had a good partnership of 74 of 46, with Glenn Phillips eventually falling off of 42 runs of 25 balls as he tried to play a drive. Unfortunately, an undercut edge of the bowling of Rashid Khan, and the ball crashed into his stumps, and Rashid Khan was elated out there. And Mark Chapman and Tim Seifert scoring 65 of 42. A wonderful knock by the Kiwi wicketkeeper there, stood tall and steadied the ship once again, with Glenn Phillips with a strike rate of 154.76. Eventually fell to a poor shot selection, caught a deep square leg off the bowling of Mohammad Nabi, caught by Azmatullah with a strike rate of 154.6. Daryl Mitchell, who continues his good form in the Indian subcontinent, played a calm knock under pressure, gave the finishing touch along with Mitchell Santner, Mark Chapman, as Daryl Mitchell scored 25 of 14 balls, an unbeaten 25 of 14 balls, and Mark Chapman scoring 28 of 17 balls. And the Kiwis keeper unbeaten 17 of 8 balls with a strike rate of 212.50. So that's the story out there from the middle. And Tim Seifert has been awarded the player of the match for his wonderful knock of 65 of 42. A well-paced knock. He controlled his instincts early, went hard on in the first over, especially the first over where he got 3 boundaries. But as soon as 2 wickets fell in the second over, he changed his mindset. He changed his natural instincts, ensured he played by the ball, played one ball at a time, took the game deep, and then took on the charge once he crossed his 50. 65 of 42, gentlemen. Tim Seifert, the man of the match for today's game in the 4th ODI T20 international game of the ICC Men's T20 World Cup 2026. And that's the story here from Chennai. New Zealand winning the game by 5 wickets in this Group D encounter. And that will be the end of the game today, as we go to the Group C game in some time, as England take on Nepal in the Group C encounter in Wankhede, Mumbai. Stay tuned for more action, more commentary, and more sporting action. Thank you for all the support you guys have shown, and thank you for being an integral part of Sports Beyond Cancer. Hope you guys enjoyed the game. I'm still waiting for my first comment on my videos, so please ensure you drop in a comment so that we can have a chat about cricket, sports, or anything in general in regard to the game. So thank you for all the love. Hope you guys come back to the other streams and enjoy the streaming action. This is my learning curve. I promise you that I will improvise going ahead with it. Thank you for all the love, and thank you for showing faith in me. This is Shourabh Vittalmurthy signing off from Sports Beyond the Cancer. Once again, just reminding you, please don't forget to hit the like button. Please don't forget to hit the subscribe button. Every subscription means a lot to me, will be a key motivating factor for me to wake up the next day despite all the chaos in my life, to come back and give this content or talk about sports here. This is what I love, and this is what I have loved since the beginning of my life. This has probably been my inner calling to talk about sports to our audience, and thank you for being there, and thank you for believing in my journey. That's me signing off. New Zealand have managed to defeat Afghanistan, and that's the end from the M.A. Chidambaram Stadium, Chennai, and Tim Seifert has been urged the man of the match. Thank you. This is Shourabh Vittalmurthy signing off from Sports Beyond Cancer.